We should be live! Hello, MangaPod viewers!
Hi!
Hello!
Hi!
Welcome to MangaPod.
Oh, Dazza, your head's cut off.
What?
Bend, Dazza, bend!
What?
Move your screen up a little bit.
Move your screen up a little, bro.
Like,
There you go. Yes.
There you go.
If you pose on your bed, it would be perfect. But
oh.
I'll just lay down and we could just do MangaPod from bed and be like,
MangaPod
how you guys
bed.
doing?
Dodger's
He
got a
goes,
bed.
he goes, puts on
We're
his
gonna be talking
robe.
about shoujo flower manga. Yeah.
Hey, you
Yeah.
can put on your robe. You know, you gotta have like a nice one of those red robes and
Right,
just like
light
chill.
some candles.
Get yourself.
Wine.
Can we all have pipes
Scar.
and top hats? Can we take
Yes.
it there? Okay, cool.
We can get fancy with this.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Welcome, MangaPod viewers, to MangaPod Book Club. We are a weekly podcast in which we read part of a manga or all of a manga, and then we get together and discuss it like we are doing now. I am HappiLeeErin, or Erin, and this is Dodger.
No, it's good. Continue.
What did I do? Erin. Dodger of Press Art to Continue, or Dexterity Bonus. How are you, my lovely little friend?
Hello, I'm doing good. I'm excited to discuss this manga, and I won't say anything else more specific than that.
Okay. Hello, we also have Yokurama. How are you, sir?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. I'm very good, actually.
Yay!
Yay! Are you also excited to discuss this manga?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of like in confusion right now.
I'm
I
so
have no idea
curious
what I
to
think
see
of
if
it.
everybody feels how I did.
I know, I'm really interested.
Yeah, I'm
like-
scared. I'm really scared. Like,
You're scared? You should be.
Can't wait.
Yoku.
yeah, but this is
wait.
gonna be fun. This is gonna be the one of the most interesting episodes so far.
I know. Episode.
Very.
They're all
Three.
interesting episodes. What are you saying?
Yeah. We always
Mine.
make it really
Yoku,
interesting.
wow.
Wow, Yoku.
Wow.
Every episode has to be better than the other.
Right, we have
Gotta
to
keep
grow.
It's
Oh.
on an
Improve.
uphill grow. Yeah, obviously. Also.
We have to bloom, guys. We have to bloom.
Oh!
Yes.
Look at you bringing in the flower references already.
That took me a little bit too long to like.
Yoku's
Stand.
like, bloom. What?
Bloom. Oh, little flower. Oh.
Ah! Dandelions. Also, we have Dr. Dazza. Before I forget to introduce you, hello, sir.
Hello, or Nyo, as the main character says.
Meow.
Nyo.
Meow.
Nyo.
Meow.
She owns a fox, but she makes cat noises. I don't see the connections.
If you guys have not read
Apparently, according to the translation notes, it's because she's from Hokkaido and she says Nyo because it's in her accent.
None of the other people from Hokkaido did that.
She's the only one.
If you guys are confused about what we're talking about, this week we read the manga Imadoki, which is a shoujo romance manga. And so if you guys have not read it, we have we have a brief summary for you, but we need to pull it up really quickly because we forgot to do that before.
Yeah.
It's Dazza.
It's Dazza.
The Dr. Dazza description. We need it.
Hold up.
Hold on.
Can you get to it?
I'm
Can you get to
loading.
it?
Loading. It's loading.
While it's loading, I will just let you guys know that we are going to be having an in-depth discussion, which means there are going to be spoilers all over the place.
All the
and
spoilers.
So, you guys, if you don't want to be spoiled for this manga, you should see yourselves out once we are done reading the description. Once we have the Dr. Dazza description.
And then go read the manga. It's
And then
only
go
5
read it.
volumes, and then come back and watch this after it's recorded.
Yeah,
on,
go
you
to
can
watch
actually,
it.
Erin's
Watch on
channel.
Erin's channel.
Erin's YouTube.
Yep.
Erin's channel.
Check it out on HappiLeeErin. It usually goes up immediately after if Twitch works okay. So, sometimes it glitches a little bit.
A little bit. It's
A
all right.
little bit.
But
Do you got it pulled up, Dazza?
Yeah, it's all good. Let's try this.
Let's do it. Are you ready to interpretive?
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Yoku, are you going
okay.
to join us?
I can do this. All right.
Yeah.
For Tanpopo Yamazaki, life at the elitist Mayo Academy seems way out of her league. The daughters of wealthy families snub her. Other students make light of the fact that she's actually tested into Mayo instead of relying on family connections. And the cute boy she saw tending a dandelion the day before wouldn't even acknowledge her existence. Hoping to make friends and have some fun, Tampopo starts up a gardening committee. But will this help her survive in a school where superficiality and nepotism reign supreme? Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Yay! The
Good job.
Yeah, it's a
Dazzler-
shoujo manga about flowers.
It's all
Or
bad.
and the Yokorama
if you-
description.
Ever read or watched Fushigi Yugi? It's by the same mangaka.
Yes.
So that's a popular
Yes.
one that she's done.
Yeah. Has she done any other ones?
Probably.
Nothing else that's
Probably.
like super popular, I don't think.
Yeah.
She did the like second one, the like sequel to, or like the side story of Fushigi Yugi.
Yeah, she
That
did quite a
fo-
bit
that
of
focused on
actually
a
other
different
stories,
priestess,
but I don't
but-
think they're that popular.
Yeah.
Imadoki's not even that popular.
Yeah.
No, it's really not. I had never heard of it.
I hadn't
Yeah,
either.
Fushigi Yugi's the
I
only
don't
thing
think
that
anyone
like,
had.
is known that she's
Yeah.
done. And that's not even that great. I'm sorry.
Oh.
No, I.
And with that, yeah,
And with that, we're
and
moving
with
on
that,
to Imadoki.
that is as spoiler free as this is going to get. So, if you guys want to go and read the manga, you can check out the Evolved on my channel later. Otherwise, we're about to dive into some spoilers. So, let's start with the question we usually start with. What were your expectations when you heard the summary or before you read? Dr. Daza, you first.
Okay. Well, I thought it was going to be very flowery. I don't mean that as in metaphorically. I meant that literally. I thought it was going to be very flowery.
What do you mean
And
by that?
And you were not let
It was
down,
very-
I assume.
I hope not.
It was quite flowery.
It was.
I
I mean,
super flowery.
the number of flowers involved.
The
were-
chapters,
I
all the
think-
chapters were
I
named
think
after
on a page,
the volumes were.
on a certain page, there are 20% of flowers. Just 20% of it is just flowers.
The
Because
backgrounds
it's not.
are
It's
always
just,
like flowers.
the art and the fact that they talk about flowers so much.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's pretty crazy because like the main male character, he was like flirting with the flowers a little bit here and there.
He
Dude,
loves
you
it.
guys
loves
notice that?
the
He
flowers.
so wanted to get in them flowers.
Yeah, you guys noticed that,
He
right? I was
wanted
kinda
to
like, okay.
deflower them.
I love all dem curves. I was
Nobody?
with you.
Nobody?
Yeah,
When they-
look at that curve.
I was like, damn.
He was
Just
like,
go
You
back.
have to treat them nicely. The flowers are friends, and everyone's just like, what? What? They're flowers.
It's a flower.
Some people.
This manga wound up being exactly what I thought it was going to be. Which I'm really glad for because I didn't want yet another week where I was like, well, I thought that it really was going to be one thing and then it wound up totally blowing my expectation. It didn't. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. But, you know.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
That's like the same, right? Yeah.
You know, I was pretty much the same exact way. I was like, I bet it's gonna be like this, and then I bet the ending is going to be this, and I was like, that's exactly what it was. Well, great. So
Right?
Yep.
It was very, without talking too much about the storyline already, it was very formulaic.
Yeah.
Very formulaic.
Yes.
I was like, everything that I thought would happen just happened.
No, I
What
I
about
agree.
you, Yoku? How did you
I
feel?
agree with that. That it was like it had the formula of a shoujo, but there was things that were thrown in there that I was kind of like, ooh, man, that's a pretty weird thing to throw in there. You know, the whole pregnancy thing. You know,
That
she
was-
almost losing her baby. Then the whole like attempting suicide. Like I wasn't expect because it's a flower series. It's a series about flowers and stuff. So
But it's a
having those, like,
shoujo.
yeah, having
It's a
those having those
shoujo.
little like dark like
It did
themes,
have
but-
little dark
Yeah.
I don't
moments.
know.
Yeah.
They felt a little bit out
I-
of place.
Yes.
Mhm. That's
We
what
can
Aaron
talk-
and I were talking about
We
earlier.
can talk about this more, but I felt like they were just really cheap. It was a really cheap
Yeah.
way to
Yeah,
get a
it's like they were
dramatic
thrown in there
response.
just to be like, yo, we're adding another layer
Yeah.
to the story.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
deep.
Mm.
It's
Well,
deep, guys.
Yeah, we can kind of talk about that now. I mean, if you guys have stayed and actually haven't read the manga but are choosing to stay anyway, what happens throughout the story is that all the kids are in high school, and there are numerous instances where very serious topics come up, such as abortion and suicide and pregnancy, teenage pregnancy. That stuff kind of creeps up a lot, and in my opinion, I thought that they would bring it up and then they wouldn't really discuss it. They would just kind of be like, oh yeah, that thing happened, as if it was just like she really wanted a really quick, super fast, dramatic response from the audience, but then wouldn't
Yeah.
discuss them either. And I thought that was like really cheap, and also something that's as serious as like a suicide attempt and stuff. It just wasn't dealt with in a way that if you're gonna bring it up, you need to
agree
deal
with
with
that.
it.
Mm.
So
After the whole pregnancy thing, I was kind of expecting the suicide thing after
Yeah.
he broke up. with
Really?
her. I was totally expecting that. That was predictable. That was
I knew something
I
like
expect
was-
that, but sorry, go on, Deza.
Yeah, I was expecting the suicide thing after she was very forceful. Like, when she was like, "Oh, you have to leave the club," and he's all mine. I was just like, "Yeah, she's attention seeking. We know what's gonna happen."
like,
that happened, and I'm just like,
yeah, and it was just
And
like
then she did it again. She tried to do it again, and I'm just like, "Can't you die, please? You're annoying me.
Damn.
You
Go
try-
away."
Oh,
Wow.
you went dark. But no,
Yeah, but
I
that
agree.
was.
It was like something that I don't know. She didn't need. We didn't need another reason to not like that character. There wasn't. It wasn't like. And I think with suicide, I don't think that's something that you should be used as a way to be like, this character is somebody you shouldn't like anymore. And it's just like, we already didn't really like her. She didn't really have any positives to start with. Like, she always came off as like a jealous bee from the beginning. So I don't know. It was just.
Yeah, and I think just the fact that, like, the suicide attempt was, like, it was definitely dealt in a way where they were, like, she's just being, like, a spoiled, attention-seeking brat.
Yeah.
Whereas they could have come at it from the angle of she's literally spent her entire life being told she was going to be the wife of one of these two people, and neither of them want her. And
Yeah.
she's wasted all of these years, and it's just, like, overwhelmingly depressing for her. Like, that would be... I would have followed that storyline a lot better, but having it just, like you were saying, Aaron, just having it, like, thrown in there, where it just felt
They
like
did
it was
off,
discarded
they did it
so
off camera.
easily.
Discarded, yeah.
They did it off camera. It's not like they kind of like, you know, like focused and actually like showed a part like where it was like in her mind, you know, and then like she did it. It was kind of like kind of happened out of like camera, out of the panels. That like, you know, he's about to meet with Ton Popo, and it's like he gets a call. Oh, she tried to commit suicide. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh no.
And then
Yeah.
immediately after that, her grandpa, like, has a spill. Like,
Yeah.
so many things happen. And I think from a storytelling standpoint, it was those moments that felt out of place made it so that the story was really muddy. It was almost like she decided what was going to be the inciting incident, what was going to be the climax, and how it was going to resolve. And then she felt like it was kind of too bland. And so she wanted to add things in to give the characters depth, but didn't fully develop any of it.
Yeah.
So
Do you think the problem is because it was rushed? Because it is only 5 volumes, and the story.
It's
Yeah,
short.
it seemed a bit
Yeah.
rushed.
Yeah.
I think
It
was
had the
rushed.
classic, "Oh, we're being cancelled," kind of rushed feeling at the
Yeah.
end.
Maybe that
which
is
a bit
it.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still like, I don't know, it was just those things. It felt like those were things that just, even if you were being rushed, it felt like it was trying to make the story go on longer while also trying to keep it short because it was being canceled or something like that. It just felt like things that
Yeah.
didn't need to be put in there were put in there. Yeah. So.
Can we talk about how adorable her fox was?
Yes.
That was like the highlight
Yes.
of the
I
manga.
saw the
that she had a
fox.
pet fox.
I saw the fox and was like, "Daughter, there's a fox in Imadoki. You're gonna be so happy." And she's like,
Literally. I was like, I can't wait. Like the best character.
So I love when he's like the brothers doing the photo shoot with the fox, and the fox is like posed.
I also love that the fox was not housebroken at all. There were so many scenes where he just like peed, and they were like,
Oh,
"What's
dang
happening?"
it.
Yeah,
I
it
love
was
the fox.
great.
Poplar.
The fox.
Poplar.
What?
Is that his name?
Yeah, Poplar.
Poplar.
Poplar. Poplar. The bonus.
Well, Poplar had some friends as well when they visited. You know.
Yeah. Weren't they?
Or-
We
his
found
brother
out
and
about
sister?
his origin story
Yes,
in
Poplar had
the
an
first
Which was
bonus.
the best origin story.
Poplar
It was the cutest thing
had a
ever.
lot of
Best origin
character
story of the
development.
series.
Poplar had more character development than a lot of other characters in the show, in the series.
Right?
I felt more emotional. Like I felt more emotional during his origin story than I did through like the
Yes.
suicide attempt and the
Yeah.
abortion and all of that.
Oh, what was the name
I
of
was
the
like,
girl
"Oh
who
my
got
gosh,
the abortion?
She a something a sur. Oh gosh,
can't-
I just remember her
yeah.
name started with an A, and everyone called her Ganguro.
I
That's all I
really
remember.
loved her.
I loved her
Oh,
so much so I can't remember.
Arisa, right?
Arisa. That's
Arisa?
what it was.
Yeah.
It was A something.
Arisa.
Yeah.
I thought that she was great because she was one of those characters. Like I feel like in a manga where such a strong theme was like being yourself, living your own life, blooming, blah blah blah. She was like the only character who was just straight up about who she was, like, the entire time. She was like, nah, it's cool.
So
I like to party.
I like sex. I don't know what's up. It's
Yeah,
okay.
she's like, I got prego. I don't know.
I kept the baby. Though I didn't like how she went back to the guy who got her pregnant. That pissed me off because it just didn't fit with. I don't know. It didn't fit with her character.
I understood her going to him the first time and being like, "Yo, I'm pregnant and I love you. If you want to be with me." After that, like after he like laughed her out of the office when she was like, "I'm gonna try to give him a rose at the rose ceremony," I was like, "No, do not go back to him. He is a dummy." Like, oh, that.
I loved how he just like whipped out his phone. Was like, "Hey, Dad, I did it again. I'm gonna need you to set another abortion." I was like,
Oh.
Wait, he accepted her rose, didn't he?
I think so.
Well,
I don't know, did he accept?
They didn't really show anything after that. So
No.
it was kinda like-
He didn't
yeah,
give her
she
back
like rubbed
a white rose,
all the
though.
makeup off. She gave the rose, and then I think he accepted it. But they
Well,
didn't really.
he took the red rose, but then he has to either give her a yellow rose for
white
rejection
rose.
or a white rose for acceptance, and we never saw him give her either.
Yeah.
The only thing that we
So-
know is that at the very end, in Super Dick main love character's note at the end, that like he came running back to her and was like, I want to be your baby daddy." That's all we know.
I loved her dad, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like a super.
He picks up the doctor. Are you the father? No, that was pretty funny.
He was great. Oh, yeah.
He was
That was
awesome.
awesome.
Can we talk about Super Dick main love interest?
Yes.
I thought he was a super dick. I didn't like him.
He
I
was
like him enough.
It
The
is
only
a
time,
shoujo manga.
the only time I liked him is when he was throwing his like gardening shovel at people's heads. I thought that was freaking hilarious.
I thought it was so funny how
Always.
often he used it as a weapon.
Instead of his fist, he's just like smacking people with the shovel. I was like, yeah, that's the only part I like about you.
Do you like him? Do you like him more or worse than his brother?
I
liked his brother.
I liked his brother,
Brother's
but
cool.
there were points where his brother came off as a creep to me when I was just
Yeah.
like,
His brother
Yeah,
was
I did.
20
Year-old girl.
and was like, "Yo, I know you're 16, but I'd get on that." And I was like,
Ever
"No."
since like the first meeting, remember he like hid in the bushes and took pictures of her.
yeah, like, how is that not creepy?
Crying. I was like, "No."
While she was crying.
And it's like framed on his wall and stuff.
I know that in Japan, that age difference isn't as creepy
Yeah.
as well, but like, I feel like for us, we're all like, you got nothing else to do except hide in the bushes and be dirty and take pictures of girls? Like,
Grimy.
what?
I think the part that creeped me out most about him was when she went to his apartment to deliver something or something, and she saw the pictures that he had printed out, and like the one of her was huge. He's like, I just thought it was really good, so I printed it out extra large and hung it on my wall. And I was just like,
He said it was
What?
his favorite picture.
but so.
And he didn't give
don't
her a
know.
copy of it. That was the other funny part. No, I really I liked him just because he was like Asahi. He like knew who he was.
Mhm.
He was like
Yeah.
off like
Yes.
pursuing something that he really cared about, and I don't know. Super Dick was just, I don't remember his real name, but
Koki.
Yeah, Koki.
Koki. That's right. Super Dick.
Let's
I
start
don't
from the
know.
beginning. Let's start from the
This is-
beginning. What was
this
your
is-
first impression of Super Dick?
Like when she met him when he was like super into the flowers, I thought he was real weird. And then when she was like, "Oh my god, we're like besties now," and he was like, "I don't even know you. I don't have friends. Friends aren't real." I was like, this guy is not worth your time. It's
He
just-
rips out the dandelion. It's like, how could you do that to your friend? What?
That was hilarious when she like busted into that huge ceremony and was like, "You said this dandelion was your friend." I would think that chick was weird too. Be like,
Yes.
I don't know.
It's like, what's wrong with these characters? Oh, and isn't that the first chapter? That's a really good first
Yeah,
impression.
and
Yeah.
she to remind him of who she is, she like lifts up her skirt and to like show off her like injury, and he's like, I can see your underwear.
I know, he's like, God,
This is just
why would I be with
ass.
such a crude woman as you? I was like, oh, damn.
Thanks.
I feel like but again, that's so formulaic, especially for like manga and anime, where there's the like super asshole character who isn't like connected with his feelings, and then the girl finds the guy who's like really sweet and emotional and cares about her a lot, and she's like, I should be dating him. He's perfect for me. And then they date, and she's like, I just don't feel it. I don't love him the way that I love Super Dick. And then they break up. And then she ends up going with Super Dick, and Super Dick is still kind of a Super Dick. And you're like, did anything happen in this manga? I don't know.
Was there any development whatsoever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My like favorite J-drama goes like that. And I still love it, but damn. It's like so obvious.
Obvious. Yeah. No, when I first saw him, I thought, like you said, that he was really weird. And then I was like, oh, but he's kind of nice. Like, he helped her with her injury and stuff, and he likes flowers. So anyone who likes flowers can't be that bad. And then, like, 2 pages later, he's like, no, stay away from me. I don't know you. I was like, why are you so mean? What's the point? Why? And then, like, his character development for me was, like, it wasn't really. Like, he all of a sudden was, like, a little bit chill, and then he was, like, really romantic and sweet, and then he was a super dick, and then he didn't know who he was, and I was just like, you're all over, and then in the end, it just really wasn't anything at all, anything noticeable. So, what about you boys? How do you feel about super
you
dick?
don't like his development at all throughout the whole series?
There were parts that I enjoyed, like when he was
what?
like, yeah, like I didn't really see too much development from him. Like at the end when he was talking about how he wanted to be a better man for her before he like went to her. I wish they would have shown us what that meant because I didn't really know what that meant at all. Like he said that, but they didn't show anything of that. Like, because I mean, if we're talking about how if it was rushed because it was canceled, then I understand not being able to show that. But there wasn't even. It was just them like hugging in a flower field. Like it wasn't really any sort of like showing of his development. So I don't know. What about you guys? Did you like his development?
He was like a tsundere guy. That's what he was. That's all he is.
Super
tsun-tsun.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he was, and he's like one of the most richest people. Comes from one of the most known families. Everybody's trying to butt kiss him, throughout the start. And she was just weird. It's something he wasn't used to because that's a school that they went to that like all these like rich families only go to, and she just pretty much got lucky by getting in there. So he just wasn't used to that, I guess. Just like being raised like that. So you can kind of like understand him in a way, but yeah, his character was very what word should I use? But like it was different like here and there. Like it wasn't consistent. Like he was acting one way like in this chapter. Like I don't get it. Why was he nice within the first few pages, but then he was a dick in the start?
I didn't get that either.
I didn't get that. Like, wasn't he like
just because she caught him off guard and he was like willing to not be a super dick? I don't get it.
I don't know, but no, he was always acting cocky, like he doesn't need to act like anything that he doesn't want to be. So why was he like super nice and then he was like super mean?
Yeah.
And then I just didn't get that when I read. I was kind of like, okay, that's not consistent. And then he's just kind of like a wave.
Yes, he's a wave
the whole time, and it was kind of annoying seeing him like that. That's pretty much like kind of a description of a tsundere character, but he was a very messed up one.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
There was no fixing him. Yeah. What about you, Dazza?
I just he annoyed me because he wasn't nice. I mean, I get the whole he had to save face and be very standoffish to everyone because everyone's like, I want your money, I want your baby, so I can have your money, and they just wanted him for his money, and the fact that he had the massive power of the whole school, which is just confusing to me because he's just like, okay, I want you fired, I want you expelled, that can happen. No one should have that much power.
But he can't keep the gardening committee. They have to get permission from the
Right?
president.
That was so confusing to me.
Well, it's because that guy was like the second most richest family or whatever. I guess he had some power as well.
Also, the whole idea that there would be a school where they said it's illegal to have real plants on the school property.
You'll get suspended.
Why would that ever happen?
Why? What a horrible setup.
You get suspended
like-
for planting flowers.
It's like the school's just like, okay, we've got enough money to have computers everywhere, have all electronics, everything, but we can't afford flowers.
Yeah.
Screw
I
the
guess we'll just
flowers.
do fake ones so we don't have to hire a gardener. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
She's like
too
all
much.
sneaking in real flowers. She's like, if I don't do this under cover of night, I'll get suspended. And I was like,
She'd
"Whoa."
go to school like 4 hours
It's like,
earlier. you know?
will you? What a horrible thing. It was
Oh,
so
man.
weird.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was very weird.
her friend,
Suki.
Suki, I was like, oh, this bitch trouble when she first popped up. I was like,
Right?
she's gonna be the one stomping on the flowers. She's gonna be the one getting everybody to put weed all over Tampopo's desk. It's gonna be her. And then it was, and I was like,
Yeah. That was kind of predictable.
When I say
I was imagining like, oh,
When I
there's
say weed,
marijuana.
I don't mean
marijuana. Yes. How did this happen?
Growing weed and stuff.
I mean,
Think, baby, Tampopo has a drug problem.
it would explain so much.
That's
They
what she goes,
wrote-
yo.
Road weed. Can we talk about that too? We'll come back to Suki, but can we just really quick talk about how, like in shoujos, the main character always has to have some weird noise or word that she says.
Some sort of like
Yeah.
cutesy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura was Hoi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's Neo. Meow.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yo.
Meow.
Yo.
Meow. But anyway.
Why
Why
do you
is
think
that?
that is? What do you think that is?
I
Is
think
it, is it because it's cute? Is that why?
I
Is that
feel like
cute?
that's the only
Yes.
reason.
So-
I can't imagine.
Like, do
another
Japanese
reason.
people, whenever they read the nyo, they're like, nyo, oh, that's so cute. And they're like, what happened? Like, when I don't even read that. I just, like, glance through it and just go on.
Yeah,
you know?
that's like the dialogue. I was like, oh, it's there.
Like,
again.
maybe Japanese people, they like that. I don't know. That's the whole cultural thing, I guess.
There were a couple of times where I was glad that the Nyo was there because I wasn't entirely sure who was talking when there was like a big group. And I was like,
Yes.
oh,
Yeah.
well, that's definitely her because literally no one else says that. So, yeah, I think it's just like, it's one of those things that's supposed to make you be like, oh, and like,
She's so cute.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
She said,
Yeah.
she said nyo.
how dare he
Oh.
break her heart? No! What's that? Oh my god!
And maybe it's something like to have the fans kind of like outside, like after they read the manga, they can go outside and like repeat that and like, what's nyo? Where's that from? Oh, Imadoki. Oh, I want to check that out. It's kind of like maybe marketing.
It's just
tool.
a grand
Well,
marketing scheme.
It probably is.
And they probably have bags in Japan with like flowers over them that just say Nyo.
Probably, man.
Branding.
Wow.
We did
No,
it.
but that's like the only reason I could see that being like
Yeah.
useful, because for me it didn't really do anything.
Didn't do anything.
Well, this is a shoujo. It's for like teenage.
Yeah, it doesn't really
girls.
do
Maybe
anything
That's
really.
why.
Yeah. Meow. 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 But yeah, let's talk. Okay, so let's go back to Suki really quick. What were your guys' first impressions of her and like her character as a whole over the whole thing?
Is she the bitch face one?
She's
one
the
where,
glasses.
and long
Yeah.
black hair.
Yeah, she looked like a bitch from ever since the first time.
Yeah.
Ever
I was
since the
just
first. I would like to join your flower committee. I'm like, bitch.
I'm like, yeah, this is not
Yeah,
gonna
you
end well
do.
for anyone. Why?
Yeah, you
why is
do.
this happening?
And then she became best friends with Tampopo.
Yeah, which was hilarious. I
don't
did
think she was
actually
her best
really
friend.
like that.
I think Arisa
liked
was
it.
more of a friend to her.
Yeah, but I did like, that was like one of the only things that kind of like threw me, made me go, oh, well, that's kind of fun, is that literally Tanpopo like accepted anyone as long as they were being themselves. It didn't matter how
Yeah.
terrible of a person they were. Like the first time that we see Suki being like, I just want your fortune. I want to marry you and get rich and rule the world. And she's like, you're being yourself. I'm so proud of you. And I
She
was like,
didn't even care when she was like just like totally destroying the flowers. She just like ran up like, oh, you know, and she kind of accepted her even there. She didn't care about the
Yeah.
flowers then. Why not flip out and be like, those are my friends? Like hell.
Like cooking it.
Flowers are friends.
No, but
That was awful.
no, I like
Oh,
Suki. Actually, I really like when she was destroying flowers and going like she had that whenever when Koki's brother appeared and she was kind of like already thinking maybe I should go for him.
She's like,
I want that
totally.
fortune.
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
I
liked
liked her in the last volume when she falls and it's like Tempo please join the gardening committee for me. I broke my arm. I was like,
I broke my bone.
I was like,
I
oh great,
broke
more stuff happened. And then I was so happy that she stood up. I was like, no, I was totally lying to you.
I was like,
"Ah."
you
That
used
made me-
your evil for good. That's awesome.
I love that.
I can't remember his name, but I was not a fan of Computer Dude.
Really? I loved him.
I like
I like
Computer
Computer Dude.
Really? Okay, sell him to me. Why did you guys like him?
Who wants to go first?
Because he was funny.
I thought he was funny.
He was not serious at all.
I thought he was crazy, and I loved that. I thought at first I was like, oh great, he's just really stupid and just doing this for fun. But then I love how quickly he changed. Like his character was made to be on the wave, like Koki's character actually is. Whereas his I can't even remember his name, but Computer Guy is like
Yo Goku. That's his name.
Yo Goku. Like he was like so random and spastic anyway that like it lent it to him being able to be kind and him being able to be crazy and hilarious, and like I just liked his comic relief too that he brought to the story.
I liked
thought
him
he
a
was
lot
really
because
funny.
he was the only character that was unpredictable most of the time.
Yes.
Every other
that's
character
true.
was pretty damn predictable.
Yes.
But he was you actually
As a
when he was on a panel, you had no idea what he's gonna do in the next panel because he was the most random.
That is
No.
true.
That was
Yeah.
pretty interesting.
I
That's
loved
probably
him.
why and then when he
face
hacked
is
the whole
brilliant.
school, he hacked the school.
He
hacked
hacked
like
the
the
school?
most advanced school.
That
Like,
was
come on.
awesome.
I loved him. Tell us why you don't like him. Why you weren't a fan of him.
I think I don't really like characters where they like do something that's super douchey and then they're like, you know what? I've decided you're okay. I'm gonna be your friend now. I'd be
yeah?
like, no, you're not. We're not friends. What? Like with all the other
It doesn't matter that we
like,
trapped him.
yeah, I trapped you in an elevator. I hacked into the school. I held a knife to your throat. We should be like besties. I'm like, what?
But this is San Popo we're talking about. She accepts everybody.
As long as they're being there.
But everybody else was fine with him too. Like it didn't make any sense. Like at
That's
least
why-
It didn't really affect
That
anybody
part
else.
bothered me.
It affected Koki.
Yeah.
But Koki, I don't think it really didn't affect Koki too much. He was
Yeah.
just stuck in an elevator with a girl. What's so bad about that? So,
In the dark.
She was flipping out. She was like, I'm afraid of
Because she has
Yeah.
claustrophobia.
Yeah, she has claustrophobia. She's scared of the dark.
Because of
Yeah.
her parents' car.
And hospitals.
Hospitals.
She doesn't like
Oh.
hospitals either.
This is kind of off topic, but what was your guys' first reactions when she told Koki that her parents died? Like I had like I remember that point when Erin was talking about in Old Boy how she was hearing like duh duh duh. That's like what played.
You
in
had
my
it done,
mind.
done, done.
It was out of nowhere. Like so where's your parents? They died. Or like they're dead. I'm like, whoa. Where did that
I
come
mean, you
from?
kind of assumed when
I
you're
thought-
but, like, I didn't assume
I
that she
figured
just, like,
it out
like-
in the first, yeah. Like,
Yeah, she's like, they're dead. Yeah, like the way she told it to him, it was really weird.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah.
don't know. It didn't have that much dramatic effect for me because she mentioned that she lived with her grandparents, I was like, oh, I bet her parents died.
They're probably dead.
And
Yeah,
probably it
that's
was
what
a
I
car
assumed, too.
accident.
No, I
Yeah.
assumed that, but
It-
it's
it-
the way she told.
The way
told
she
it.
told her, I don't know. It didn't really
It
affect
wouldn't be
me.
a tragedy if they weren't dead.
They
They're
just walk
alive.
out. They're like, hey, Sam Popo.
I would be more surprised if they were alive at the beginning of the manga.
Yeah.
If she was at a nice, happy home, this manga would not be the exact same thing.
Really?
I would have been shocked if her parents were alive and she was still living on her own, cuz like when they make a big deal about him like bringing her home and she's living by herself, I was like, okay. So either she's an orphan or she was living with a relative and that relative is gone now, and then like they're like, "Oh, she moved here." And I went, "Huh. So who raised her?" And then they told us. So
and then it was revealed.
I would have been a little bit shocked if they had, done the whole "let's go back to my hometown and meet all of my old friends," and her parents were
had
there.
been there. Yeah,
Mhm.
I would have been shocked about that too, because I had already assumed that they were dead. They were deadsies. But yeah,
What'd you think of the way they died, like the whole car accident thing? Did
I
that
didn't have any
like
feelings
affect
on
you
it.
in any way? Did that like bring any emotion, or were you just kind of like, yeah?
I was like,
Cool.
oh,
Yeah.
wasn't that? I was like, oh, because didn't
I
she find
guess.
that out like at the same time that her grandpa had collapsed and Erica had tried to commit? Was that the same time or was that before?
No, that was before.
Yeah, all my emotion was invested somewhere else. I just did not care.
Really?
Wait, I'm confused
did-
by the question.
When, wait, what was the oh god. I'm
Are
sorry.
you saying that you
What was your
find out?
question?
Wait, what?
She knew
Is
if her
anyone
parents
paying
were in a
attention
car
to that?
accident.
Yeah,
knew
she was in the
about
car
Okay.
accident.
Okay, you're asking if we were emotionally affected by
Yeah,
how her
let's
parents
feel
died.
that point, because that's a big
Okay.
flashback,
Okay.
Like, the way her died.
Oh my God, so
I think like a car accident is one of those very believable and emotionally effective sorts of scenarios because like most people know someone who's been in a car accident. So a lot of people can connect with that and feel that little bit of fear. So when when they were like, oh, they died in a car accident, I was like, I mean, that does happen a lot. That's that doesn't surprise me, but it's sad.
yeah, that's basically how I felt too. Like I would have been surprised if it had been any other way that they had passed away. Like I don't know what other ways it could have been. Like I think any other way would have been a little bit like more tragic and more dramatic than she was going for. So it was definitely a sad idea of being. I think what affected me the most was putting myself in her position if she had like. If I had been in that car accident and my dad had died and I was stuck in the car and then seeing my mom pass away and like the last words, like that I think was the most effective, but it's still, even then I didn't feel that much emotion. Like I didn't feel that much of an emotional
It wasn't
attachment
really
to the
that
part.
like that big
So,
of a part of the series, anyways. Like
yeah.
it was covered in like 5 to 10 pages. It was kind of like
Yeah,
that
it was
less,
really
man.
quick.
It's like 5.
It was
Yeah,
really
and
quick.
like the last words like of her mother was to keep smiling, so that's why she's all like hyper.
I was
and-
gonna say, like, I feel like it really was there to give us some sort of a context for her optimism.
yeah, why she's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you
Yes,
like to
that's
explain?
exactly what I was going to say.
Why she's crazy. Let's go through. I'm looking at the questions to see. Oh, art. What did you guys think about the art? Were there any standout moments, or were you just like thoughts?
I've never been a huge fan of like standard shoujo art, and she has a very like shoujo look to how she draws things. She does like the huge eyes and the flowy hair, and
Yeah.
I didn't really care for the art all that much. It was very cutesy. It fit with what the manga was, but it wasn't anything that I looked at. There weren't even any moments really that I looked at and went, "Oh, that is really interesting to look at."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, typical shoujo art. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Definitely. I liked that the kisses were just like, boop. Like it was
They
so
were
like
always like,
it was like a tiny little
Kiss
centimeter
me.
apart. It was. What did you just do? I totally
nothing. I don't. What? Keep going.
Did you just spaz? Another thing, yeah, it was like totally typical shoujo art, but something else I really liked is that Tampopo and most of the other girls had their hair different almost every single chapter.
I did like that.
Like that. I always love it in anime and manga when characters wear different clothes and have their hair differently. I don't know why. I'm just like, I appreciate that so much.
It's
Yeah, it feels like they're putting more detail to it. So
Mhm.
yeah.
They care about
Yeah.
the characters.
Yeah.
I feel like
I like the
Kubo
development.
is the only like really popular male mangaka that does that. Like
Who?
Kubo in Bleach.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
He loves doing like fashion shows with his characters, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he
even, like-
changes their like wardrobe like every
all
like
the
50
time.
chapters and stuff. I don't know, it's pretty cool. It's a
Yeah.
good little bonus.
Yeah, I like that.
I do think that That when women are drawing them, they tend to do that more often, though.
Yeah, it's hard to think of a. I can't think of another one that stands off the top of my head where like the characters aren't wearing the same thing every single time.
Yeah, unless there's like a reason.
Yeah.
Like in Kuroko no Basket, for example. Like,
What do you
sometimes
mean?
they're
Tell
the
more.
away team, and sometimes they're the home team.
So they have to change uniforms.
They'll mostly look the same always, but it's fine.
It's close.
The color of the uniform changes here.
Yeah, it does, you know.
Sometimes they're in practice clothes.
And sometimes they're in their uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in the anime, during the endings, they're wearing different street clothes.
That's true. And normally they're on top of each other in some way.
In some way, they're touching.
Because
and
they
there's
know their audience.
Exactly. Anyway, since
So.
we're talking about touching each other, I don't know how that's a segue, but anyway, we talked about Koki and Tampopo kind of separately. What did you guys think about their relationship, like their chemistry? Or if you felt there was lack thereof, did you feel the relationship was forced? What did you feel about their feelings for each other? Team?
Very dramatic.
But it has
It's
to be,
like,
right?
Yeah, it's a shoujo.
why can't they just talk to each other about their feelings? Because clearly everything would work out if they were like, hey, I actually have a thing for you. I don't know if you could tell. And he could have been like, oh, I feel the same. You didn't have to hang up on me before I could have told you that. It was like literally 2 seconds before I was going to tell you that I loved you too. But no, she had to hang up.
Well, to
Drama.
be fair, that happens in real life all the time, where people are like, I have had a crush on this person for like 3 years. I can't tell them how I feel. Like, it's just,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
they were
it
like, okay,
happens
I
in real
love
life.
you. Bye.
Just,
Especially in
The
high
actual
school
confession.
time. They are in high school. They're like
Yeah.
16. So
yeah.
For the most important years of your life.
plus they're crazy. You know, that's
They're crazy.
Yeah, they're shoujo characters. They're crazy. They don't.
Cray cray.
crazy 16-year-olds.
Cray cray.
Soup's cray cray.
So cray cray.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I kind of covered this when talking about just Cookie as a character, but I don't feel like he was worth her time.
Mhm.
I don't feel like he was worth all of the drama that happened because he, like, was on that wave that everybody was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
it was just, it seemed like the drama wasn't necessary. Like, if we were to compare it to real life, I am totally willing to believe, oh, you have crushes on each other, but, you know, you don't want to talk about it because it's awkward. I'm not willing to believe that her being as optimistic as she is, that she would, like, put herself through all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She did almost give up a couple of times though. But
She did. She dated Bro. She dated
the
Yes.
brother.
she did. She
And
did.
then he had all sorts of creepy pictures of her and kept trying to kiss her on benches, and she got weirded out.
Oh, the forehead. I love how
Yeah,
she gave
he
him the
jumped the
forehead.
ship before
Yeah.
something.
That was
bad
so
could happen.
funny. When he's like going in for the kiss, and she's like, he like kisses her forehead, and he's like,
The forehead.
It looked like she like completely just like.
his head butted his mouth. I know, it was great.
It was so funny.
Oh man.
Oh man, I personally, yeah, like I think just because Koki's character was so up and down, it made the relationship seem so forced and weird. Because I don't know, like he was so nice to her when they first met, and I can understand being like, oh, this guy is really cute and he was really nice to me, but then he was a total jerk to her like 2 minutes later, and it's just like I wouldn't want that would turn me off immediately. But knowing Tampopo, it's a way different. She's a way different character. But like you were saying, just the fact that she, as optimistic as she is, and he was so up and down with like his fiance thing, and the whole fiance thing was really weird to me. Like he was so like I don't know, he was so tough and like cocky and confident at first, and then but with that whole thing, he just like couldn't deal with her. Like he didn't want to deal with her, but then he was like very like I don't know what the word is. Like he wanted to constantly take care of her, even when she was doing weird things, and he totally noticed.
He felt
them.
bad for her. Pity.
Yeah,
Pity.
he felt
Yeah,
really
I felt
bad
pity,
for her.
but like the character, I felt like the character that we when he was first introduced at the school when he was being mean, I just feel like that would be like he wouldn't act that way later.
Yeah, his character was inconsistent. It's
so-
he seems like he knows what he wants, and he's just like he's completely confident. Then like the next chapter, he's like, oh, I'll be home soon. I'll be home soon. You know, and then like next chapter, he's completely crazy again. And it just like a wave. All he was a wave.
Yeah.
That was their relationship as well. It was a huge wave as well. So.
And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
I mean,
And the whole thing with the
that's-
brother, was weird as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I didn't really understand that whole thing. I really liked the brother when the brother finally came back and he was like standing up and being like, Koki, you should go and do your own thing. Like, I'm still young, I'll be able to do it again. Like, I really liked that, but Koki like was still so unsure. When as before he was like really confident, and I was just like, just pick a personality. Like, do something.
Yeah, and then he
Thing.
finally like okay, I don't like you, I'm not marrying you, and
yeah.
Yeah.
then it was a quick decision.
Yeah,
Goodness.
he was. It didn't really show him struggling with the decision. I think that's something I would have liked to see more was him, like how he came to decide things, like his thought process on things. The only real time we see anything from his point of view or from his thought process is like the last letter, like the ending.
They should have like had more monologue with him, because like we had a lot with Tanpopo, her just like at her apartment sitting there thinking and all that stuff. Like they needed to have that for Koki as well, because that definitely would have built a lot more characters.
Small, but like, they did like very small times, but like it wasn't anything.
It wasn't even
as
nearly as much as
satisfying.
Tanpopo. She had a lot more development. when it
Yeah,
comes to that.
definitely. What were you gonna say, Roger?
I don't remember, but I was thinking about Fushigi Yuki just now, because I think Iwatase has a tendency to grasp at drama for her romances. If you've ever watched all of Fushigi Yuki, the number of times that they're like, I love you, but we can't be together, but I love you, but we can't be together, but I love it happens the entire time, and it gets so tedious, and I wonder. You know, we keep saying, well, it seems like it was probably rushed, like she intended on it being longer, but maybe she wasn't able to make it longer. I don't know that would have changed much necessarily.
Yeah, it might have just been on and off.
It might have just been, just more.
Yeah, I feel like it would have just
thing.
kept going. It would have just been longer and longer. Kept going. Oof. What about you, Dazza? What are your thoughts on their lovey-dovey or lack thereof-ness?
I thought I was watching a new season of the OC, just seeing Ryan and Marissa's relationship all over again.
Oh, high school drama.
including the big brother.
Oh, yep.
No, but I didn't believe their relationship was a thing. It was just there, and like you guys have said over and over, he was very mean at the start, and I don't get why she was drawn to him being mean. I mean, if I walked into somewhere after someone was nice to me and they were a total dick, I'm not going to be like, oh, I should try and
Like,
convert
what the hell,
them to
man?
being a nice person.
Yeah.
Like,
You know?
oh.
And then she was bullied over and over and over again
was
for at least,
so
what was it, like
bad.
3 weeks or something? And he
Yeah.
did not do a thing for her.
I
You know,
hated.
she's just like, I've got optimism. Yeah, I would have broken.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I was
I
thinking
would-
about that. I was like, I would be crying. Like, after day 1, I would have just hated it.
It
I
was
don't understand.
Like, what they did was so mean. It made me. I loved Tanpopo, and then I hated everybody else that first chapter. I was like, everyone, you are all evil dicks. I do not like you. Like, all of them. Tampopo was the
Evil
only
dicks.
one.
There's a lot of dicks in this.
There's a lot of dicks. They
They're
were
all
so
They're
mean.
evil dicks.
They
They're
called
super
her
dicks.
stupid dicks. All the
Broski dicks. All the dicks.
They called her
Broski dicks.
All the
weed.
dicks.
The fact that they called her weed was really mean. I was like, that's
It
rude.
was, yeah.
Even a weed will die if you step on it enough.
Never.
What character said that? But that was like,
That was the-
I laughed
was
out
that-
loud.
The brother? Was it the brother that said that?
Maybe.
I think it was. I think it was after like after the suicide attempt, and then they were talking about the whole falling
It
apart
was,
of marriage.
It was
That's so
after she saw them kiss on TV.
Oh yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh no, I wonder if Tom Pippo saw that."
It's like it was broadcast on TV.
Yeah.
Did you guys not see that? Like when that chick kissed Koki, like his face was like, you know,
Yeah,
she's like,
totally.
and his
That's
face was like,
something
and it's all over the like huge screen, and Tenpop was like, I guess he doesn't like me.
Did she become Italian?
You can totally tell that's like such a forced kiss. His eyes
It
were just like
yeah,
who
it's like
kisses like that.
nobody. Yeah, that felt.
I don't
so-
know.
Or like when she goes to Hokkaido to like visit her grandparents because her grandpa passed out, and he shows up there, and she's like, "I wonder why he's here. I mean, he doesn't like me, so."
Obviously.
And then in that bonus,
not.
they
Why-
were
why
like,
would he
"All
follow
right,
that?
let's really drive it home that she's super naive about love." It's like, this is excessive. Like,
Yeah. It's like she's so naive, but before she was able to tell like that she loved him, like she was very definitive. When she realized she loved him, there really wasn't any, do I love him?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't love him. It was just, I love him. And then she was like gonna confess right away, and then they got interrupted. But like the fact that in the bonus she was still, or like even at the end she was so naive about love. It's like,
She had to, okay, audience, people who are watching this right now, she had to
Jess?
ask multiple people what the difference between love between lovers and love between
And love
friends
between-
was. And everybody was like, "You're in middle school, yo." Like, what?
what?
It was silly. It was
was
silly.
Really silly. Do you want to?
Oh,
would you like to recite for our audience what the last line of the entire manga is?
Wait, let me bring it up.
Oh,
It's super creeps and super
It's
fantastic.
so creepy.
This is from the extra,
This
right?
is from
Yeah.
extra number 2. Okay, how is extra number 2 even involved? Is it?
I don't
Involved at all?
know.
I don't know. I don't understand.
I thought it was a whole different manga. I was reading. I was like, is this the same manga? Is there like
Yeah, I was confused. I didn't really.
Okay, ready?
Flashback?
This is the very last line of this manga. I can't tell her the truth that I've already touched her here and there while taking care of her. The end.
And theme.
The end.
scene? Roll credits.
That's the worst way.
That's
to
a
end
wrap.
that. It's the creepiest thing ever.
It was so it was, okay, the bonus was about this girl who's like a germaphobe, and this guy stays with her and her family for a week, and he finds out she's a germaphobe, and he's like, I'm gonna help you not be as big of a germaphobe anymore. And then she gets hit in the head with a soccer ball, and because her immune system is so, like, bad, she has a fever that knocks her out for 3 days. And when she wakes up, she goes, oh no, where did he go? I love him. They've known each other for a week, literally. She wakes up, she's like, oh my god, where did he go? And she like tracks him down to this train station, and she's willing to touch him, which is a big deal because she's a germaphobic like people. And they hug, and that is the last line of the manga.
But Dodger, you don't get that. She was hit in the head with a soccer ball.
Obviously. That
Did that clearly not
She has
screw
brain
her
damage,
up
guys.
somehow?
It's fine.
It's just brain damage. It's NBD.
Yeah, it's okay. It goes. She like shows. She shows up. She touches him, and he says, "This is great. From now on, we can actually love and go out with each other. Yep. From now on, there will be lots of touch."
Wait, is he like 5? It sounds like a 5-year-old. There will be lots of touch.
From now on, there will be lots of touch. But I can't tell her that I was totally touching all up on her while she was passed out. It's not weird.
It's not weird at all. What do you mean? I do that all the time to people.
Not weird.
Just touch them in
Yeah,
their
you just
sleep.
go around touching them.
While they're sleeping, they don't know. It's not gonna hurt
But
them
clearly,
if they don't
touch
know.
style makes you lovers. So how many people have you touched before?
She won't remember. She's knocked out from a soccer ball, so it's good.
Yeah, she
So
got a
good.
fever from a
But
soccer
he's
ball.
saying it.
All that brain damage.
All of
He
it.
didn't get hit in the head with a
And
soccer
her
ball.
parents totally let her, with the still having a fever, just like peace out and run after him. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This is so
Yeah,
dumb.
but those are extras. I skimmed those and I.
Yeah.
If I was
Yeah,
him, I would have been like, look, you knew him for a few days. you can calm down and call him when he's home.
Yeah, you think her mom would give her some
Sit your
sound
butt
advice.
so silly.
Bum down. Well, like, I don't think the mangaka understands how illness works sometimes. Because
Go on.
when you when you attempt to commit suicide, they don't, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know how it works in Japan, but they don't just let you out the next day or the next hour.
Yeah,
Like,
that
you
is
get
also
put
true.
into
You
a
get
mental
sent to a
ward.
psych ward.
You get evaluated and you're there for quite a few days, at least a week. And Erica was out early enough that like it was like the next day or the same day that Tampopo got to like her hometown, and then
They're
Loki
rich though.
followed.
Maybe she got paid off.
Maybe.
Paid off.
Maybe,
Like,
but
That would be the only
I don't
explanation.
know.
Thing.
They didn't tell me that, so I'm gonna assume that's not
Yeah, that's the
case.
only thing I could think of that.
But, like,
that would.
She caught him so fast. I was like, you were in the hospital out of suicide attempt like an hour ago. How did you get on a plane and get here? I just don't think she understands.
Oh,
quite.
hey,
I just don't think she quite understands how that kind of stuff works. But which kind of like annoyed me. But I think it was just in the same vein about everything being dramatic and for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
So, yeah. On that, can we play a game? By the way,
A
called
game?
Who can name the most shoujo cliches that happened in this manga?
Alright, I need to get my alcohol out. Try this.
Drinking game.
That would be an amazing drinking
It'd be
game.
so, you would be
One day, guys, we're gonna drink
Just
wine
get on
the show.
get on the MangaPod and just
MangaPod Wine Club.
wine
And just
club,
drink
yeah.
until we're gone.
Drink all the cliches.
Oh
Man.
that's
When we
worth
read
the
like a
time.
really horrible series, that's what we need to do.
Yes. That'd be
That's
fantastic.
worse than the time I went on live stream and got and took like a shot every time Shinji was being a whiny bitch.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I was lonely. But anyway, explain the rules, Aaron.
I really don't have any rules, but I was just saying we should like see who can like just go around and see who can name shoujo cliches because there were a lot that happened in this.
Sparkles.
Okay. Sparkles is good. I have one.
Yes.
The female lead who is too optimistic to be real.
Yes. The fiance, the main love interest having a fiance.
Flowers.
I guess
Flowers are a
that's
good
true.
one.
That's true.
Tsundere male. Tsundere male.
Yes.
That's up a lot.
The popular tsundere male.
Yes.
Super dick Tsundere male.
The girl who wants to be friends but winds up just wanting super dick. Imagine that however you want, internet.
Well, like if somebody like just rips that part like that.
There is now a
like, played
Tumblr
so out of context.
called Out of Context Dodger, and it's
There
like
it
my
is!
new favorite Tumblr.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
That is
That better get on there.
Wow.
I'm counting on you, Tumblrers.
Tumblrverse.
What's another one?
What is another? Oh, getting sick with a fever and having to be taken care of by the male love interest.
Yes. Very good. Getting trapped in an elevator.
Yes.
Yeah. Cute animal.
The
animal.
on and off relationships and like
Yes.
awkwardness.
The ending where they're apart for a set amount of time and then they're back and they just
Then they
hug
come back
and that's
together.
the end.
I will find you. One day.
I do.
I will become a man for you.
But yeah.
then-
And now I have end of letter. Now I'm standing in front of you as you're reading it. Let us hug in this field of flowers. In the end.
Yeah, let us plant flowers together forever.
Lead girl dating a relative of Super
Yeah.
Dick.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
That's the thing.
Big Brother gone missing.
Yep.
That is a That's
actually, yeah.
It happens a lot.
I didn't even think about that. It's very true.
Way more.
Wow, this was chock full. No wonder we were all reading this and going, yep.
Yeah.
A very crazy like friend character, like the computer nerd.
Yep.
That's totally random.
But also the Ganguri girl as well.
Yeah. She's
Sorry.
not that much of a cliche, is she?
No, I feel like more of a
I've seen
cliche
her
would have
before.
been
I've seen this type of character multiple times.
Yeah.
Really?
I think the Ganguri girl, when she's used, is the same cliched, but we don't see her very often because it's not popular anymore.
Oh, okay. I get you. I get what you're saying. I was about to kick you out of the game, Dazza.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another time that I've seen like that character with that personality. Probably if any of you have read Bremen,
Oh,
that sort of a character was in Bremen. I love Bremen. Oh my god, if none of you have read it,
Should we
that's
read
going
it?
on the list.
Go on the list,
Throw it
guys.
on
go
the list.
Put it on the
Oh,
list.
we can put it on the
Um,
list.
Where's the list? Do we have a list? Really?
Do we have a list?
Here.
We've got to make this list.
Aaron's brain list, obviously.
Obviously.
Guys, come on.
Which means that it's just
It's
lost
gone.
in there.
It's gone.
It's gone.
There's more. There's definitely more.
so many more.
Living by herself.
Yes, living by
Yeah,
yourself.
that is true.
Oh yes, good one.
That's a big
Yeah.
one. That's
It's
not just
trans-
shoujo.
Not
dude,
having
that's a funny
parents,
cliche.
her parents not being there, not being involved, or being passed away.
Also, along with the super dick character, the super dick character having a soft side that only she sees.
Yes. So soon.
Yeah, all that soon.
Oh, soon.
Having a
everybody-
weird grandpa. Having a weird grandpa.
Dude, the
Yes.
grandpa was so weird but so awesome.
Yeah, just weird grandpa.
You
That,
know
that
what?
comes up a lot.
Oh wait, I have a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor girl that goes to rich school
Yep.
and is out of
Yes.
place.
Yep.
hmm
Everybody hates her, but she's still the best person ever. She's
Yep.
the greatest girl
And eventually, she changes the school as a whole.
by planting flowers.
By
Oh, and of
planting
course,
real
of
flowers.
course, yo,
Y'all, the
yes,
saying,
yes.
the word.
Cliched
yes.
line.
What are some other
Poplar.
ones?
That's having a cute little, like,
Cute little animal.
yeah, cute little animal.
Something that I did notice that I thought was going to be super cliched, but I was actually happy ended up not being. Hi, Sherlock. You're so cute. Was when the class president or whatever, the guy was being like, you either take care of Arisha or you don't get your gardening committee. Like when he came up and he was like, or you have to date me. I was really hoping.
yeah.
I was like, please don't make her date him. Please have that end some other way, because that'll be totally cliche if she ends up having to date him. But I guess him, like, that threat is a cliche. That threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the like other
Date me.
popular guy that really wants to date her, but she's grossed out by him.
Yeah. So
The only reason he
threatens
wanted
her
to
in
date her
some
was
way.
because she was like on good terms with Koki, and he was like his rival, I guess.
Yeah.
I want his money. It was always
Wannabe
the
rival.
money.
Yeah.
He was a wannabe rival. He was a
Yeah.
rival that Koki never really like looked at twice, even, you know.
Yeah. Koki ain't got time for that sheep.
Yeah, nobody
He's playing. He's playing
too busy
He's
dandelions.
got a fiance and he's got other girls and he's got a long lost brother. He doesn't have time for that shit.
Yes. Oh, the fiance. The part about the fiance. Everything Erica did was a cliche.
Yeah.
Every single thing.
Yeah, being a spoiled brat, that's pretty cliche. That's what she was.
She was big.
But yeah, we could go on forever. Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think you guys get the idea.
You get the points.
Maybe
Yeah. What time is it? I'm not
Hope-
even looking. Oh,
almost 8:40.
it's about times to wrap things up. Does anyone have any other thoughts on the wonderful Imadoki?
I think if you like the general way that most shoujo manga goes, you'll probably enjoy this, but I don't think that it's the type of thing that anybody would necessarily read and be like, God, that is my favorite manga ever. There's
Yeah.
nothing about it that makes it stand out, really. It was fun, but it,
Yeah.
it was meh. It was meh for
It
me.
was very meh. We could, Yokorama suggested this before, we should give it a rating since it's finished. And I think
I already
it's
got a rating. I've been thinking
Yokorama
about
finally
it.
got it. 'Cause I remember
Oh.
before you were like, I don't
What's
think-
okay out of what?
Out of
What sort
10.
of rating?
10 out of 10.
Out of 10.
Yes.
You go first. You've been thinking about it, Yoko.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
thinking about it. First, my thoughts on it is that this is a very below average shoujo. Just a below average manga in general. With so many cliches, as we've mentioned. Very crazy characters. Had a lot of dicks in it. The
Yes.
art was very...
I just
even
want to
like
deflower everything.
Flowers and dicks. That's all you need to know.
Oh, but even though the art, like we kind of said, it was decent for a shoujo. It was still below average at parts. Like even for a shoujo, there was really nothing standing out from it. I did get like some enjoyment here and there, but really, I can't give it more than like a 5 out of 10. That's like the I was thinking of 6, but nah, 5. I think 5 is good enough. Would I recommend you check it out? Probably not. I wouldn't. There's so much better like 5-volume series out there that you can just sit down. So I think it's kind of a waste of time.
Yeah.
Dazza?
The art wasn't that good. I wasn't that interested. It took me a long time to read. I read it over the entire week. It wasn't just oh my gosh, I got to read this in one sitting. It was over the entire week I read this, and it was really hard to pick up. And every time I was picking it up, I was just like, really? Why do I have to do this?
Yeah.
And there was only, and from a shoujo, I only got one time where I was like, oh, and that's not good enough. I want Oz every single time.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it. I don't like giving ratings personally, but I'd say a 4 out of 10 because it is below average, and the average is 5. So below average, give it a 4, and would not recommend.
Aw. Yeah. Word. Do you want to go, Dodger? Or should I go?
Okay. I told you guys like how I feel about it, but I'm trying to decide if I want to give it a. I guess like if I'm being honest, a 5 out of 10 feels right in my mind. Yeah, 5 out of 10 would not bang again. I think that's my feelings.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because I think there were a lot of moments where I genuinely laughed at it because the characters, there was a lot of witty dialogue we didn't really talk about, but there's like a lot of witty dialogues only really in the first
Beginning.
2 volumes because once it gets into all the dramatic stuff, everything just gets muddy and everything is cliche and all sorts of things like that. So for the few times that I gave it some chuckles, I'm gonna give it the 5. Otherwise, if those hadn't been there, it would have been a 4. But I wouldn't really recommend it, even to people that I think like shoujo. I think it's something that gets put behind other series because there's so many other better shoujo series out there. I just thought it was really mediocre and muddy and like so much unnecessary stuff that just rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
I agree.
As well. So
3 5s and 1 4 out of 10. That's pretty low rating.
that averages. That's an average.
It's
Read
average.
it.
Average.
Read it.
If you did like it, if you did read it and like it, we would be interested in seeing reasons why you thought it was higher than a 5 or a 4 out of 10. So just go ahead and comment that when we upload the VOD and
When the
such.
VOD goes up.
When the VOD goes up, have some discussions. We'd be interested in seeing what your points of view are.
Yeah, this is kind of sucks because it's like the first shoujo we read.
I
and
know.
It's okay. We can.
It was my fault.
Yeah, who
I
recommended
this
was
to you?
one recommended it. It was
Your
my fault.
Rama, it was your fault. All
Yeah.
you.
Well, I thought I was told it was good.
Peppered ham. Donnie, Phil.
Well, peppered ham likes anything floury, so it's good.
We should also go
As long as
ham.
it's fluffy, he likes it, if I recall.
Yeah, he likes anything fluffy. So.
He's so
We
funny.
should maybe like
It's
if
kinda
we're gonna put together like a list of future manga that like each of us suggests, maybe we should come up with like 4 genres, and then each of us can suggest like 4 different manga,
Oh.
and then we can like kind of shuffle it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Maybe something like
Do that, yeah. And keep recommending us manga on Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook and on our videos and such that you would like us to read. We like hearing suggestions.
There are
Awesome.
definitely a lot that like we get a lot of recommendations for, like
Yeah.
some certain series.
Yeah, we've got a lot. If there's any more like underground ones that may not be as popular. One Piece. We've got a lot of Tower of
Back to
God.
One Piece.
So underground.
One Piece.
Do all of One Piece,
Guys, we should read Naruto.
No,
Read Naruto
yes.
every week.
And Bleach. We'll just rotate.
Yeah, it's fine.
We'll get through it someday.
Yeah.
Someday in the near.
Have you heard of this like underground manga called Death Note? I heard that's really good. You should read
What's
that.
that about?
It's like really
about
dark.
a note
What?
of death.
So
What?
good.
What? Yeah, so keep suggesting us those. Next week, we are going to be finishing up Old Boy, the last 4 volumes of that. We're going to see how those bets that we made last week plays out.
Oh,
Somebody's
that's
gonna
right.
Somebody's gonna be getting some coins.
And if you
Dun, dun, dun.
missed out on us talking about the first 4 volumes, that is on Erin's YouTube channel.
Yes.
YouTube.com/HappiLeeErin.
episode. Episode 2 of the MangaPod.
2, yes. As well as the false start that happened, but
Yes,
that's okay.
there is that too. It was so funny. I love like most of the comments on the false start are like, "Where's the rest of the MangaPod?" Like, no. This is
This is a joke, guys.
What?
Guys, joke.
As
Go on.
like, there was a bunch of comments that were like, I like how the blooper thumbnail is more serious than the actual podcast.
Yeah, I read that comment.
What do you
It's like,
mean?
what are you talking about?
What?
But yeah, so we're gonna be watching. We're gonna be reading those next week, and the week
Yeah, that's
after,
chapter 40 through 79.
Yes. So it's just it's the rest of it, right? It's volume 5 through
5
8?
through 8. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
And then the week after, we're still discussing, but we're possibly going to be doing a sports manga of some kind. So, if you
We
have
haven't
any
decided
favorites-
yet, but
we
we're going to do a
haven't
sports
decided yet.
manga.
But
Yeah, so you can,
yes.
if there's any sports manga, you can let in the comments.
Yeah. Other than
That'll
Kuroko
be
no
a big
Basket,
help.
we all know that Kuroko no Basket is a contender. So.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yes. So, we'll be reading
We're not. I thought we're gonna read Major. Major's like almost 80 volumes. I don't think we're gonna. Somebody wrote Major in the comments.
Oh, really?
Guys, we should please totally read Major. Yeah.
That's like 70 something
Yeah.
volumes.
Oh. All next week.
Somebody renamed themselves to Out of Context Dodger in the chat. Sorry. Go on.
I am so excited to go look at that Tumblr. I'm gonna go look at that immediately.
There's not much on there yet, but I'm holding out. I'm excited for it.
It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, yes, so let's plug our stuff really quick where you can find us other than on Twitch TV. So, Dodger, you would like to start?
I have 2 YouTube channels. One of them is youtube.com/pressheart2continue, and the second one is youtube.com/dexterity-bonus. Dexterity-bonus is mostly vlogs and DIYs, and Pressheart is gaming stuff. So if you want to hang out with me, that's where I am.
Yeah. Yoku?
I have multiple channels, but the one I do mostly videos on. I haven't done much videos lately, but I will be doing more videos again. But the channel is Yokorama Game Talk. That's at youtube.com/Yokorama Game Talk, where I do anime videos. I don't talk about games, so the channel name is a lie. It's a big lie. But yeah, so if you guys like, chapter reviews, anime reviews, and random other anime videos that come to mind, yeah, I do those on there. And for episode reviews and just some random news, whenever I feel like talking about, there's another channel that I run called Yokurama News.
Awesome.
And
I
then
love
Twitter.
how you
Of course,
roll
there's
your
Twitters.
Rs.
There's Twitter.
There's
There's
Twitter.
All the Twitters.
Yeah,
Just-
Yokurama Talks. That's Twitter. At Yokurama.
Awesome. Sherlock. Oh gosh, Sherlock is just so cute.
He's like rubbing his face right on my mouth.
I love it. He's like, hello, Mama. Hello. Dr. Daza, link stuff.
I am Dr. Daza from Fighting for Nippon. That's where I do anime reviews. I do anime news on the Dr. Daza. I also do reaction videos on there because for some reason people like them. I don't get why, but they do. I don't know why people like
I
reactions.
don't understand.
And if you watch me on YouTube, I'm less laggy.
No.
What?
It's always a strong point. It's always a strong point.
It's always a strong word when your videos don't lag. And you also have a Twitter, correct, sir?
Yeah, it's Dr. Daza, of course.
Awesome. I am Erin of HappiLeeErin. You can find my stuff at youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I do anime reviews as well as first impressions, both of series that are premiering in certain seasons and also series that I just happened to watch for the first time. And I also upload the VODs there, so if you guys missed it or if you wanted to watch it again and stuff like that, you can go and check it out there. So other than that, I think we are going to wrap it up. We hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for coming to watch this live. We really appreciate it, joining us. And again, next week we are going to be reading Old Boy, chapters 40 through 79. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that,
Yeah.
volumes 5 through 8. And we will be here at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we will see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye, kitty.